Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
And I'm like commenting it.
I got some varsity.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one at the go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome fellas, welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Fellas, we the United States, the tour, well that leg of the preseason, little workouts is over. I don't think the results from the tour was too encouraging. When they consider one win and 3 losses, and even though one of the games was, the under 21s, it's still counting, right? And I guess now might be a good time for us to use the term it's only preseason end.
It's not 2 wins.
Nah, 1 win against
Leeds and Arsenal.
No, I
Leeds
talk about
in
the
Europe.
talk about the American leg of the tour.
Oh,
The USA leg. I think that's when everything really kicked in because they had the full complement of the squad at Ten Hag's disposal. But it's only preseason end. Or is there, in your opinion, a cause for concern? What are we saying?
Yeah. Good night. I think definitely disappointed with the end result of the tour. Definitely would have liked to end the tour, on a winning note, knowing that we are supposed to be ahead of Dortmund in our preseason regime. And I guess it was really errors, and errors where at this point, you would have hoped that we shouldn't be making. Yeah. So again, it just shows that we gotta grind it out, in the first few games of the season to really get that form and fitness, up. And let me see what these next just 2 more games, these next two games. Let me see if Ten Hag could put more of maybe his first team, players out. Yesterday we left the first time Rashford already played on the left, and that way he was most deadly last season. So again, it's just to get back into that rhythm. And even Casemiro still has to get back in that rhythm. Mount had to catch his length, at some point, he has to step up, So a lot of areas for improvement. And we know Ten Hag, taking it lightly. And hopefully that them fellas already ready to attack and them fellas step up for the other preseason games heading into the season.
Yeah. Guys who on the in the comment section, don't forget to like and share the podcast to get more and more people on the inside, right? Nico had mentioned, Phil, that we had 2 more games, but in essence is really 1 more game because it's 2 games playing one day after the other and it's 2 separate teams playing that game. So you have to check it as really 1 game rather than 2 because I don't think it will have any overlap now in terms of players who play in 1 game, they're not going to play the next game. All right? So it's 2 games for Ten Hag to assess, but it's really 1 game for the players. Go through, Phil.
yeah. It's not the best way to end the US tour, but I find there were more positives than negatives. Right? At the end of the day, we played a Real Madrid that has probably one of the youngest midfields in Europe. We came up against Carlo Ancelotti, and we did our best, right? We came up against a Dortmund who just lost the Bundesliga to Bayern Munich on the last day, right? So there's some positives that I see with regards to this US tour. Ten Hag still has a bunch of players that need to figure out you know, each other's strengths and weaknesses, right? So Mount coming in um, soon to be Hoyland coming in, new keeper coming in as well. So I see this team should get the ball rolling, hopefully within the first 5 to 7 games of the new season, right? So looking forward to what the team has to do. I guess later on in the podcast, I can discuss maybe about, let's say, 5 things I learned from this US tour, right? So,
But let me just follow up on something you said there, Phil, because you say that's we'll be able to get the ball rolling. But don't you think that that's the purpose of preseason and the ball should have already been rolling, and we should see
e-
something rather than wait until the league starts to get the ball to start rolling?
yes and no. I say yes because you're still trying to remember how your teammates plus your new teammates are playing from last season. But in terms of preseason, let's be real. Preseason is to Back in the day, preseason was about shaking off the rust from vacation. It was about seeing how the youngsters would play. It was about seeing how the team would communicate together. So yeah, at the end of the day, there are games in preseason. Because as a United fan, you want to win your games in preseason as well, too, right? Even though it doesn't count to anything, but you still want to come away from that game saying, "Okay, cool, we got to win. Let's move on to the next preseason game," right? Um, Based on what I saw, like I said, some of the guys are still trying to find their footing. Um, and yeah, like I said, looking forward to what the guys got to offer and get the ball rolling. Let's say again, then come the first game versus Wolves, right? Is Wolves, yeah.
Yeah. Chef,
Good night, everybody.
welcome, man.
Excuse my lateness.
Yeah. The question on the floor, right? I mean, we're talking about preseason here. The United States, part of the tour, right? 1 win, 3 losses, right?
Hmm.
Is there any cause for concern for you?
Um, Asking me,
Yeah.
um, personally, no, for me, preseason is about, yes, you want the team to gel and stuff, but it's really and truly about getting your feet, wet, getting men fitness, match fitness back up. Of course, you're watching what men offering, and but to say anything to be alarmed about, I personally, for me, I don't think so.
All right. All right. Cool, cool. Kaden on the inside. Thanks for joining, Kaden. See, you finally reaching, and nice to have you on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I,
Now,
I I think I think that's I think if you had to talk about any concern, I think concern would be like Varane. If it is what if Varane injured, what kind of injury it is? Because we see it with Varane out, it could be calamitous Jones number 2 in the back, yeah, and that could be for me, I assume.
You muted, Reem.
oh yeah, 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 for real. My I know that the intangibles is what important for preseason. The behind the scenes prep, right? Making sure fitness levels are where they're supposed to be. Working on integrating your new signings. I understand all of those things, and to be honest, bar the results which were not favorable for us. I think anybody who watched the 3 games, right, will not walk away saying that the team played badly.
No, no, no.
I mean, right? Even against Dortmund, right? For large parts of the first half, especially, we were the better team.
Yep.
Right? We were the better team. We had
with our
Dortmund
third string,
pinned
with our
back.
third string squad.
Yeah, we had Dortmund pinned back, and we were, knocking at the door, knocking. We were recycling possession pretty decent at a pretty decent level. You go back against Real Madrid, the early goal and losing Menu so early. I think it kind of shake us a little bit, but we made a proper representation of ourselves, right? Go back to Wrexham, the under-21s, boys versus men. Them fellas and them was in control of the game until Wrexham decided to go route one. So for me, in terms of what Ten Hag trying to achieve with the group and a style of play, developing us, principles as he's always say, I think I'm seeing that. But you could have how much possession you could do all this of other things, but if you do score goals, you can't win games. And that is my concern because we cannot.
If it's one,
score.
I agree totally with you there, Reed. If there's anything to be concerned about, we have to be more clinical with our finishing work. You can't have all that possession, create all the kind of chances, and not putting away. That, if nothing else to be concerned about, is that.
Yeah. For me, the best goal we score on tour, right? And I'm talking about the American leg. I given it to the where's the right back from the U21 team, Nico?
Gerardo.
Gerardo. I given Gerardo goal the best goal we score on tour. You understand when they consider the whole build-up play, how the goal came about. That's the goal I rate for tour. I don't know.
But that Dallo boy?
The Dallo goal was decent, but I looking at the whole build-up now, boy. I looking at the whole build-up. So that's why I give it to Gerardo.
I think the build up to the Bruno goal versus Arsenal. That wasn't a bad team play as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Nico? What you thought was your best goal on tour?
I did a goal yesterday. I find that a quality finish.
Okay. What about you, Chef?
Just in terms of the aesthetics now. It looked good.
No, and Dallo take he goal proper, eh? Dallo take he goal proper.
Then when you see Wan-Bissaka come get a chance, and I don't know what Wan-Bissaka trip over the ball, yes? And the ball going over the bar.
The man sent it to NASA, boy. Good Lord, boy.
Hey, we really lucky here, boy. I really hope that look catchy like this season.
Dan, the man get the most perfect ball. Just all you have to do is keep it on the post.
Yeah.
Even if
No matter how good. If you have a goal scoring fullback.
Yeah, he looks so awkward and clumsy, boy. I don't understand. Okay, don't sit here, Rasmus, Weghorst, Mr. Phil. And,
the man is just like.
But Rasmus really had to come and light the whole of fire, yes? Because
boy, that's the hope, boy. But
yeah, because this United team could depress it. And if he is strong mentally,
you telling me?
He could fall off bottom.
He could fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Confidence wise.
Tapifa, I don't know if I pronounce it correct.
I don't know. This looks like some kind of, I don't know.
That's a bot ring.
A bot? Alright. Well, we ain't getting no bot stuff, right?
The comments come in bots.
How you talking about?
Yeah, I see so too.
Yeah, looking shaky, and
yeah, real shaky.
So, fellas, let me get into the game, right? Last game of the tour, right? Usually you'd expect no, and this is just based on history, not only Ten Hag but other managers, and then when you look at other clubs as well. In preseason, the early games, you'd normally see a 45 in terms of the rotations. But as you come closer to the start of the season, you would see the closest to the starting 11 getting more minutes now and starting more of the games, right? Just to continue to develop and get our length, develop the kind of chemistry, that kind of thing now. But we saw last night, Ten Hag selected a 11 that I don't think anybody was expecting, thoughts on the starting 11 for this game? Any surprises? You know, how you felt about the selection, and you could get into the game one time.
For me, I saw it as Ten Hag saying here what maybe my first team players way ahead of this Dortmund team at this time, and I don't think that those players or those more first team players would benefit much from playing that Dortmund team so far behind. So maybe the more fringe players who are getting less minutes, I think there's a better opportunity for them, to get some minutes in their legs. That's how I see it. That's how I'm thinking that Ten Hag was thinking when he put out that team. Because the team he put out, for me, was like a third string team. A team that may not get much minutes during the season. If you look at Brandon Williams, as strong as his game was, you saw that one moment where if he had a left foot, could have put that ball easy for Sancho to run on to. And that is the little details that Ten Hag will be looking at. That is why he put Maguire back on the right and not on the left. Because of those little details now. So players like let's say Brandon Williams, Donny van der Beek, Forsen, as much as young and upcoming, he had his moment as well. These guys not gonna get much minutes when the season starts. Maguire is another one. As long as Varane fit, Maguire is going to be no way close to this first team because we have Lindelof, Shaw even ahead of him. So the players who are struggling for minutes, right? So players who are gonna struggle for minutes, you gave them game time yesterday, and again I was just thinking because maybe where Dortmund were in their preseason program. Outside of that, I think Dortmund didn't play anything. I think we did well. I think even Brandon Williams did well. I think Donny van der Beek with his one-touch wonder, unable to hold the ball. But I guess that is his style. I don't think it suits United. That is his style. But sometimes last time it came off, and he looked decent for bit parts. I find he looked little decent with the one touch. Quite came off. But again, our Achilles heel.
It has hurt you to say that, eh?
No, well, if you look good, you look
we
good.
know how much you love
that good
Van
is not good enough. No, but that good is still not good enough, right? So, So I think again we struggle to even create chances. I think that is our Achilles heel as well, struggling to create now. Sometimes I wonder where the chances are gonna come from.
Way boy.
Well,
you go see it when it come. But go ahead.
I'd be struggling to see where the chances are gonna be when I come from. And I think as well, Ten Hag hasn't played his preferred system. I think Ten Hag want a number 9 on top, who could help link the play. He hasn't played that for the entire preseason. Rashford tried it, but that wasn't good enough either, because that is not his position. So I think we still have a lot of development to do. Let me say if Højlund comes into the team, he still has to develop into the team as well. So I think we have a long way to go still, to be honest. It's just ready to grind out those first few games of the season until we really start to hit stride. But I think we have a few games well off of that.
Yeah. Before we come in, Christopher on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. Christina on the inside as well, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. Christina also saying here with Malacia out for a few months, I doubt Brandon Williams getting sell. And I find he ain't look too bad. Palestri look real good though.
Palestri look good. No, I must get a shout out to Palestri. But again, Palestri's problem is his final ball. The build-up play is silky smooth. To be honest, I find he look like Maradona. I could be going, look at No, but he have a dribbling ability. No, I'm telling you, he have a dribbling ability.
All right, Nico. All right.
Anyway, right?
Let me ask you
Moving on.
No, boy.
Nico, jump out yourself. They
No,
could
no,
put it-
I
they could
no,
put it
no.
back.
All right, Nico. Let me share
I
come
find
Phil,
the man have
Phil,
the man
Phil,
have
give
you know
him give him the one time. Give
no,
him it, give him it, give him
I
it. Give him it.
kind of center of gravity there that does yeah, it's quality. But for
So
me, final ball.
skip Messi and go on to Mar. You go on to the cokehead, boy.
Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Yes, no, I find he have more Maradona movement
Well, you
than
killers.
Messi movement.
I don't want, if you make that claim, I go watch it. I gotta watch it and say I go take your
No,
I go take your thing
no, I'm
and go
telling you,
and go
you know
I go watch it.
the man has some quality movement, but his problem is final ball. Final ball is what killing Pelestri. Pelestri had a final ball. Pelestri gave real trouble. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, boy, Nico, boy, you can talk, boy. Back to Reem's original question, which was what I thought of the starting 11. One thing I gotta mention about preseason is that you gotta see whoever Ten Hag starts, will they be knocking on the first team door, right? And from yesterday's starting 11, not much players that started yesterday knocking it up. Maybe Palestri could be on the bench for one of these players, but other than that, Donny Van de Beek ain't knocking for sure. Forreston is still young. Diego Dallo definitely is a good headache to have for Eric Ten Hag. There's something that Diego Dallo offers that Wan-Bissaka can't offer, and vice versa, right? Not gonna lie, Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay playing for a price tag that they got to be sold for sure.
But after yesterday, Scott Maguire price tag dropped. Hey,
You think so?
of course, Scott McTominay did absolutely nothing.
Maybe
Midfielder, absolutely
Maguire.
nothing. Defensively, attacking wise, nothing.
Well, in my opinion, he still got to go, right? But
Pray
yeah,
we get something for them, we.
other than Dallo and maybe Palestri, I can't think of anybody else who is knocking on that first team door. Honestly,
Ericsson had but we know what Ericsson brings. You know, we know what Ericsson brings, but he wasn't that bad.
But
Ericsson-
question. Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
no, I was saying, Ericsson. You see the quality. We all know what quality Ericsson brings, right? Left foot, right foot. He can spring a pass, right? By the end of the day, Ericsson is as mobile as like your Mason Mount or Bruno or Casemiro, right? So he definitely has to hold some bench, and he will get start whether it's an FA Cup game or Carabao Cup game, or let's say we're through to the round of 16 of the Champions League with like one game to spare. Maybe Ericsson can come on, maybe Van de Beek comes on, right? So
For with the chef Christopher agreement, Nico here, saying Palestri have that low center of gravity that many great dribblers possess. I understand the
telling you.
comparison.
but not
So,
Maradona.
Nico.
No, I tell you, you have a low center gap like a Maradona boy. But anyway, I go take my blast, but you know, I compare them to greatness, but I see a similarity.
Something
I
you
see
had
that
mentioned.
greatness, but
Something you had mentioned in your comment just now, Nico, that about the reason why Ten Hag would choose this 11. You don't think that going against the principles that Ten Hag, set out? Because obviously, if it kind of indicating how the players go view and approach the game now. That is how I see it with what you're saying in terms of the reason behind the selection. Because Ten Hag always want to choose his best squad, and I understand he could argue that he have to use his full squad. But what I'm saying is, throughout preseason, we have not seen you consistently choose 11 to gel and to develop and to prepare for the first league game. And by now, by the natural process of how these kind of things just go with your games and the minutes you get your players in preparation for the opening, we see that up to now, and Ten Hag only have 2 more games to play.
and now that's
So-
it. So we have 2 more games to go.
Well, one more game to play. It's 2 games, but only one team playing each game, so no player doubling up because it's back to back, Saturday and Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And we see your first 11 consistently yet. So I kinda a
So
little concerned with that is
do you
concerned.
think
Yeah.
that means the manager himself is not sure or hasn't or nobody in really shine to say, all right, I deserve to be in the manager plans? Stand
I wouldn't
out?
say that. I wouldn't say that, you know. I would just say that, I mean, even though you're going to argue this is an opportunity for certain players to take the opportunity when it's given, but it has some players that are given starters, right? Your backline, we know for sure Casemiro and Bruno, Mount not going to come for how much millions, and we're number 7 to not play. So your backline, your midfield, and your two wide attackers done already. It's just really that centre forward that up in the air,
You you
and we
you,
only
you
see
think your wide attackers done pick?
Rashford and Anthony. Yeah,
I'm not sure what that especially.
I see where Chef is going.
Yeah, because it's possible that he can play Rashford in the centre forward up against Garnacho on the left.
yeah. All right, fair. But Anthony's still there, Rashford's still there. So I mean, it's just one player and a shift in position. But we are really see nothing on a consistent level with more minutes to say. Well, okay, so we see where Ten Hag going, and we have one more game to play.
I think our front three might be Rashford on the left, Sancho as false nine, Anthony as right wing. That's how I see us starting the season.
But check it right.
Same.
All right, and that's fair. But check it
Same.
right. Last preseason.
All one safe. Anyway.
No, but last preseason, right, guys?
All safe.
Last preseason, we had known what Ten
What's
Hag.
that?
Well, he said he said we playing it
I
safe.
say all playing it safe for that team. That front.
How is that playing safe? That's the
what was
best.
the other-
If we being serious, how is that being safe? If we going on what we've seen for the preseason, that's the best three to start.
And I disagree. But let me hear your point now. You're getting to that.
So how is that being
disagree.
safe?
No, that being safe. That being safe because you're missing the X factor.
Okay, so that let me hear Reem and we'll get back to that. Go ahead, Reem.
Yeah.
So basically, all I was saying is, last season we had already known, provided that everything had worked out well, who Ten Hag was going to start the game, his first game with, and it's only Marcel injury come and throw off that, right? But up to now, we still guessing as to what Ten Hag first choice 11 or his strongest as far as he's concerned now. Was first choice 11 will be against Wolves. So that's how I'm a little bit concerned because I'm not seeing. Yes, we know that it's a second year. Yes, we know that them fellas have a certain level of understanding, but still you need that kind of consistent run before your first game. So I mean, I know this is not me doubting Ten Hag, right? But I be honest with you, I'm not comfortable with how we preparation look. Again, it have nothing to do with the results in preseason because I identified that the team, the group, performed well enough. But I have not seen where what your preferred 11 would look like play regularly and consistently.
No, my only other option, and I'm not a fan of it, is the front three being Garnacho on the left, Rashford up top, and Anthony on the right.
But we never even see that in preseason, fellow. We never even see that.
I just call it a front three. That's all.
No, I hear you. But what I'm saying is we don't even know how that going to work because we didn't see it.
Right. So my preferred front three is the one I
Let me
call
see last season.
Sancho as a false nine, Rashford on the left, Anthony on the right, and the only person that is really, I don't want to really say suffering, but is really being played out of position is Sancho, in my opinion.
No, but you could say that Ten Hag training him to play in that kind of false nine position, and Ten Hag even said that he more comfortable in that number 10 area in the center of the pitch, because we know he doesn't like to run back that much, and he like a kind of small goal, kind of tippy-tappy kind of thing. That area might suit him best.
And he had been bad enough. He had been bad. But this was a point, man.
He hasn't been doing bad at all.
Yeah.
I see in a comment by Christopher asking if we can include Hoyland. Why would we do that in the first game of the preseason?
Nah.
I mean, why would we do that in the first game against Wolves? That doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, we don't know what Hoyland does. Hoyland is not some experienced striker.
No, but it could.
I want to know what.
No, it possibly could happen.
Nico, don't do us that.
Listen, when Martinez come, as much as he know Martinez walk right into the team. When Anthony come right into the team immediately, possibly that.
Nico.
I don't know. I just say.
No, remember, you remember, Ten Hag play with Martinez. Ten Hag know what Martinez was given, eh?
Correct.
So it was different.
You know what Anthony was given as well too. Right.
I just been devil's advocate. I won't rule it out.
No, it's possible, because if the man gonna have, let me say, 2 weeks. Because the reports are that he coming into to the medical tomorrow. The team starting back training Wednesday, and then they're going from there until the game weekend, and then after that they have a full week training until I think with the Wolves game. So that could possibly give.
I think it was given on Monday.
Right. So that could possibly give Ten Hag enough time to assess
to make up your mind.
So
when is the last time Hoyland play football? When is the last time he played football?
Boy,
international.
Chef is me and you versus Nico and Reem, boy. I can't see.
No, I'm not saying he was starting.
I could be realistic with you guys now. Right now, Hoyland's mind is just flying to Manchester and getting that medical done. That's the first thing on Hoyland's mind. Mm-hmm. The second thing is to get acclimatized to Manchester. The third thing is to meet his teammates. The fourth thing is to adapt to Ten Hag's style of play, as well as get to know his teammates as well too. To throw him into the first game versus Wolves, I personally wouldn't do that. I would literally bring him
all that enthusiasm coming into the pitch, Phil, might give something.
And I don't disagree with what you're saying. He wasn't an automatic starter. He was not an automatic starter at Atalanta also. So I can't see he just coming into the side just so, and anything is possible, as you all say. I don't see that happen.
Yeah.
And then too, you want to give him enough time.
I would be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, you want to give him enough time to settle without throwing him into the deep so early now. You know, I don't think we're that desperate, and I think that's why Ten Hag was playing Rashford there, he playing Sancho there. But I have a question for you.
We're not that desperate.
I have a question for you on the Sancho thing, right? Now, Ten Hag, Sancho could play across the front three, right? Ten Hag seems to think that he's strong in the middle, but he played on the right during preseason and he ended up on the left during the season, right? Now, all you think Sancho getting a kind of an unfair little shave on this thing, because he been playing in a position where Ten Hag kind of using him as a stopgap, but he not been allowed to develop and compete where he possibly most comfortable, like off the wing. Because when you bring in let me just say you bring in a number 9, you bring in Hoyland. In games, for the most part, if Hoyland are playing, you can run Rashford through the center. And then let me just say Marcel does stay and Marcel come back. He could be the option, he could be another option through the center. So then what will happen to Sancho now when he get his whole preseason working with Ten Hag to play through the middle? Then when the players who are a little more suited for that role come back, you find, well, what going on with Sancho now?
No, is that whole season?
My short comment is that Sancho playing in the middle would then be, he would come on for Bruno, in my opinion. And that's it.
Go ahead, Chef.
I was about to say, we could also spin that in another way, Reem, that if Sancho is doing well enough in that role, it makes it harder for men who supposed to be playing it to just walk back in the team. I get what you say about him not playing. Let me say the role we buy him for. But if the manager out of all the front men, the manager recognizes, here's what, you have these assets, the skills to play that position. And to be honest, he has not been doing bad at all in the position. Then let me see what will happen as he continues to play the role. And who knows?
I don't know. I guess find when the better players come fit, he could be in problems. Go ahead, Nicole.
I agree with that because even let me say if you go back to Real Madrid and Sergio Ramos at Sevilla was a right back. And he came to Real Madrid, started as a right back, and the coach sees something in him that, hey, I think you could be a centre back, and he ended up one of the world's greatest centre back. So maybe Ten Hag sees something in him where Sancho could develop into this role. And I personally think Sancho likes this role more because for him, he doesn't have to do more work going back. It's just for him now to accept it and to become the best player that he could be in that position. And if he accepts that, I think he could be one of the best players in that position. So to me, it's up to Sancho. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we will see how it goes. Jody on the inside, blessed night to you too, Jody. He also saying free Donny van der Beek.
Jody, I doesn't know if tell me now, let me know. Are you a fan of Donny van der Beek or you just gaslighting here now? I need to know.
No, well, the man fan club vacant, No, the man fan club vacant, so you have to find somebody else.
Yeah, because that one touch thing, I don't like it. As much as it could help at times, but I don't like it. I don't like Van der Beek style of football. But I mean, I just one person. Jody will be like.
Kaden saying here, Ten Hag worked with Martinez and Anthony. He knows what they give. So, of course, they walked into the team. Højlund have to work with the team and the manager before he can start, especially in the EPL. Yeah. He's also saying here, Reem, if we don't see any minutes from Martial this weekend, I believe we will see Sancho starting the false nine. Ten Hag, from what the report's saying, Ten Hag not going to rush Anthony Martial back. He doesn't need to, and he's not going to. All right, so we could count Martial.
I don't know what he needs part.
No, he doesn't. He gets.
I guess you have a choice.
I'm not going to say that. It's not matter need to.
No, he don't need to.
You have a choice.
We don't need to. We don't need
rush
to.
Anthony Martial.
No, but listen to what I'm saying.
We need a fit Anthony Martial in the team.
Yes, but what I'm saying is he learned his lesson with rushing this.
What is that?
Right, it makes sense.
What is that?
It makes sense. No. Listen to what I'm saying. It makes sense. You rush back a Martial because you need a player, right?
When did and then rush back Martial? The last time
understand what I'm saying? The last time, and this was saying the last time he take his time with the man, right?
Right.
And the man still come and get injured. Right.
So then what he want to do now?
Leave he.
No, we need him. We need a right? Martial.
No, because the thing about it is this. You buy a number 9, you have Rashford, and you're molding Sancho. Whenever you think Martial ready, then you bring he back. Right? We're not in a situation like last season where it's either Weghorst or Martial. I think we have better options. We getting number 9 in. Let me go with that. Right? Sancho playing the false 9 decentish enough. Rashford could play behind the line if you want to play that kind of football. So you had 2 options there. And then I'm sure, even though Rasmus Højlund will not start against Wolves, he could be an option of the bench. It makes sense. We're doing all this, right, to come back and have to play 90% of the league with Højlund, who are ready, right, or Rashford or Sancho. Let me give Marcel time, and when he come back, then we hire there. Christopher saying here. Yes,
the mark saw something now.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, chef.
No, go ahead.
Read the comments. Yeah.
All right, Christopher saying here, if Sancho wants minutes, he better embrace that false 9. And when Højlund ready, he could play with Sancho. All right.
Oh, I was. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Chef.
Chef.
I
And
don't
he
know if
freeze
Chef
up.
connection getting him. Yeah, his connection probably
Yeah.
getting him some problems.
I can say this that I do agree. Sancho does want minutes, but I mean I gotta agree to disagree because unless Anthony works on his finishing, Anthony will hold some bench time as well. So Sancho will get put back onto the right side, right? I don't want to see Bruno on the right again. Play Sancho on the right if Anthony does not get his act together, right? Um, Sancho now can play as a false nine or play on the right. So I think that's where he would get his minutes. I think that he would get most of his minutes as the false nine. That's where I agree, but I hope Anthony can pull his socks up. And I said in the last podcast in the comments, buy a left foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see. Fernand, the skipper on that right wing at all. It's a move at. If it's anything I don't like in Ten Hag tactics so far is that I find Bruno is wasted on that way.
Agreed.
Yeah. Kaden saying here, so Ten Hag polishing glass, hoping it do break. Yeah.
Yep.
That we had to do.
Yeah.
That we had to do.
Pretty
No,
much.
that way I had to do.
That we had to do.
Yeah.
That
Listen,
we had to do. I had to hope now that when you polish it and you're ready to put it on display, it's win over, you know, those in admiration.
It's shine. It gets sparkle and it's sell.
and his contract up at the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this season is a do or die for him. And when I say this, I mean this half of the season, because he could get sell in January.
Well, we go see. But I still stick by the comment that I made in one of the past podcasts about you know, once he could stay fit, who will be holding that number 9 role.
Wait,
Anyway.
you back to that thinking? I thought you was over that thinking.
No, what I said.
No, that was Rasmus Højlund, but I
With
said
Rasmus
if you
Højlund.
went for Ramos,
If we
was
went for
starting.
anybody, if we go for
Ramos
Kane,
was
anybody else,
starting.
Marcel had to take Marcel
I
had to
don't know.
relax himself.
I really hope
But this-
Ten Hag get it right with this signing, with this Højlund signing, because similar to Mount, it not giving me that level of excitement now. You know, signing's supposed to get a level of excitement and fellas bringing something.
So
He's not bringing that excitement.
but hear this,
Mount
right?
doesn't bring that excitement.
But
Ramos,
hear this.
for me, would have brought that.
But hear this, right?
Nico, go ahead, Gregory. Okay.
I have it to talk about a little bit later, right? I guess what we to just get through this part and then we will come to Højlund and them kind of thing, right?
All right.
Yeah. So what I just want to close off this part with is two things, right? You know, what we taken away from the preseason tour, that's the tour of USA, right? What some of the takeaways, you know, one each, and who impressed you the most on tour? And then we could move on.
I guess I'll combine both the questions into one. What I learned. I'll give you three things, right? I know he's only played 2 games, but I think Onana means business.
Yep.
I think he's gonna shake up some of these defenders. He's very vocal, right? He's not soft spoken like De Gea, but he's vocal, right? That's the first thing I learned. Kobe Manu, unfortunate injury, but let me ask a question. When they say he's going to be out for the first half of the season, does that mean he's out until December?
I guess.
Well,
The saying, some of the reports saying, well, the there's it, Man United official website say for the first part of the season, right?
First part of the
But
season.
then-
That's till
Yeah,
Christmas.
but then now some other
like first part,
reporters,
that could be, yeah.
But then some other journalists
That
who
could be
close
3-4
to the
games.
club, exactly. Some of the journalists who close to the club say 2 months. So I don't know. We wait and see.
And the third thing I learned is that this club knows how to play football, but we just making mistakes. This club
Yeah.
knows how to pass around the football, right? And I'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah. Nico?
For me is again, we're still not creating chances. I think for me, one, and instead of the player that stand out, I will go with the player who was most disappointing for this preseason, and that will go to the Mason Mount. I think he hasn't. I know it's early days yet, but still, and if we go in and just based on preseason, I think he was the most disappointing for me.
Yeah. Chef?
I would say what I take is that we still have some work to do, as somebody said earlier, especially in defense. I would say defense and our finishing had to be better. And it's not just, I could call Rashford name a million times, but it's not just Rashford. All our front men, all. Like them don't do finishing drills, boy.
There's duets. There's
Or
straight on Manu TV.
they do it for TikTok
Yeah,
and
boy.
for Instagram. The child feeder does be doing it on TikTok in the pom-pom shots, and when it's time to do it in the game, is a bag of shit. And this Brazilian, done. I appreciate what he does do defensively, but at the end of the day, Anthony had to have. And it's not just his finishing, Anthony does move so brainless at times, Like serious, simple thing. Anthony would see a man riding. Boy, just bounce the ball and move in a position. You want to make a dribble and make things hard. Oh God, come now, man. You got a whole season, last season, nobody in Jambil. This is a new season. And for me, I don't care what nobody tell me, Harry Maguire is a wrong shitter and have no right to be in my team. Last night, you see that own goal he nearly scored? Boy, this man is such a goat. So by now, we supposed to either be looking for another centre back too, or something, boy, because that man ain't good enough, boy.
I just want to add. I don't think any of us are being too harsh on Anthony, but you at least got to test the keeper, Chef.
Come on, man.
You got at least test the keeper, boy. Reem, I don't want to be one of those people that is gonna say I'm giving Anthony one more season. That's not me, right? But I need to see some sort of improvement from Anthony with that left foot come this season, right? Yeah. At least test the keeper, bruv.
Nice over.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about even if the keeper go pick up the ball. If you test the keeper and he hold it central, cool. But at least get this shot on target, bruv. At least.
I don't know if I notice like teams like this, they prepare for Anthony now. It's so easy to mark Anthony off because you know where he gone.
But here's the thing, Anthony also finding space and getting off shots. He's also doing that.
So
Anthony coming good, Ole Mark, skip this.
Okay.
But for me,
Anthony coming good this season.
I hope so.
Yeah, there's one takeaway for me is the fact that I seeing where we're improving, in terms of ball retention. It's still to be tested against top quality opponent, But I liking what I've seen how Ten Hag, kind of getting the fellas to play more and more the way he want them to play, right? And again, the player, not that I wasn't aware of him, but to see how much the team improves and plays better when he's in the team, right, I have to big up my boy Kobe Mino, right? Imagine an 18-year-old improving how we play on a technical level, all right? He had there to run about the place and look like a headless chicken just to show heart. No, he showing ability and skills and talent and quality. So for me, Kobe real impressed me on this tour, right? Now, Phil mentioned Onana because Onana was second for me. The man distribution on point. Watch my see that man passing like the man is Tony Cruz dog, and he's a goalkeeper, right? That man passes hitting the target all the time.
All the time.
Now, earlier, I ain't see a wayward pass from Onana. Now I say he gonna hit all that, but up to now, me I see a wayward pass from
long square, them long ball and them finding the target.
But let me be real. All you watch this man long range passing.
Probably.
And it's proper. This man is just boom kicking ball, I'm watching him and hear me now. Jesus Christ, I wish my midfielders could pass like that. That man dropping ball over a midfield, over a defense, practically for forward and midfield to run onto the ball,
You see what I'm telling you, right?
You see the video saying today, Reem, with Onana?
Yeah. Hear what I'm telling you. I guarantee this season we're gonna have Onana to Rashford goals. Watch out, right? It gonna happen, right? But it had some little things going on right now with this whole Onana thing. It had a little incident yesterday, right? So apparently Onana getting some stick for going in on Maguire, right? I mean, he's been labeled as being unsportsmanlike and disrespectful, and they were saying it was a friendly, right? It was a friendly, so his actions were over the top, and they're asking if he would have done that to Martinez or Varane, and it's Talk Sport.
Of course not.
It's Talk Sport. It was Talk Sport who had that Gabi Agbonlahor and some other social media users. Right, so let me get the thoughts real quick and in the comments as well. Do you think Onana was wrong? Did he overstep? Should he have shown more respect for Maguire? And that was with regard to the little incident that was circulating on
You could take this one, Nico. This sounds you, Nico. You could take this one.
But that was a reflex. That was a reflex action from Onana, boy. Maguire could irritate anybody.
And you know what? We get so accustomed to having a very passive goalkeeper. But to me, every style, some goalkeepers you can't be doing shit in front of me, and I'm going to tell you nothing. I'm going to call you out on it.
And when Maguire got out, Maguire still wondering what I'm doing. We can't talk.
This was but in response, this is what Onana had to say. All right, he's saying, I have a good relationship with him, Maguire. I have to be, and he has to be ready. And I spoke with him because when I'm in goal, I demand a lot from everyone. So this is what Onana had to say when he was asked the question.
But Olia, he's not doing Varane and Martinez that.
Why not?
Chef, ask why not? Why not?
Why not?
Let me see. No, because I respect.
I want you to answer that.
Because
why not?
Because I think he respects them.
It has nothing to do with respect.
All right, you have a whole season. We have a whole season.
Nico, stop being. Don't stop handling anything. Stop handling anything.
We have a whole season.
Don't do me that shit.
We go see.
There's a damn good reason why he would not do Martinez and Varane because them not doing that shit.
When Onana did that, right, Chef? What did Maguire do?
He was in the area. That's what he was to the glass.
Come on, Chef. Tell me. What did Maguire do to get that?
It wasn't his fault, but he was in the area.
This was saying. So if it was Varane or Martinez, he had to do them that? No,
but for
Martinez make a one Bissaka make a bad pass and cause that.
No, but let me put it in
let the man set a standard one time. You can't be in front of me doing shit.
How often
That
does
is not good
Martinez
enough
and
reason.
Varane do that sort of stupidness?
No, but
Do
but
what?
let me put
But what did Maguire do?
but let me get context to what happened, Nico, because
Maguire didn't do nothing. He was just there.
what Onana had an issue with was the fact that the centre back, right? You saw an error take place in front of him, your
And you
response
stand
and
up.
your reaction time was not proper.
That is what
You
it
stand
was.
up there
Yeah,
and you caused the man to have to make a big save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I
And
don't know if
Maguire
that
stand up
are
there.
custom with Maguire moving so that I feel
Well, he had
Maguire
to learn that.
I
He had to
feel
learn
Maguire
that
was
by
moving at his
Maguire.
best.
But
Maguire
Nico-
moved at his best, but it was
No,
maybe
but
just
Nico,
slow.
honestly,
You understand?
but Nico, honestly, you know that's
Yeah.
the reason why, right?
But again, I watch it over and I don't find Maguire was all last
Nico?
slow. Maguire like Maguire. Maguire look like Maguire.
Maguire didn't make the mistake, but
Maguire
watch
look like Maguire.
Maguire's reaction to
Maguire
closing down
look
the
like
space.
Maguire.
Right. So remember, Nico, Onana learning he players, and what the last part of the comment, I demand a lot from everyone. So obviously he will want more from Maguire. Right? He's not gonna sit down.
Maguire can give more than what you do.
Well,
Maguire can give more than he can give. The man give 100. And he
but
still give love.
let me guess,
Imagine you in school, you in class, you try your best and you still get clout. You understand? I do what?
Dude, I don't know. Watch where. You had to know. No, but you had to know.
Right?
You had to know when your best is not enough. Your best is not good enough, right?
And the best definitely ain't good enough.
Right? But I try my best. I do my best and I get close still. Nah, man.
No, but here what I'm saying, right? Here what I'm saying. This whole thing about, he was over the top and he should not do this. People just forget how the kind of goalkeeper Schmeichel was. Right? Schmeichel used to be watch me, the amount of times I hear the men talk about how Schmeichel was. Schmeichel was different,
Yeah.
Schmeichel talk. Gary Neville was doing an interview and Gary Neville say the amount of time he had to be cussing Schmeichel to leave him. And Schmeichel ain't care. Schmeichel coming at you if you make a mistake. You understand what I'm saying? And I find football now get too nice.
Too soft.
You understand? Imagine
Big
Onana
man.
holding a man accountable and you telling me about hurting man feelings? What the hell,
But the man
boy?
do nothing, boy. The man do nothing, dog.
No, but what I'm saying,
I'm
what I'm saying, you hurt a man
millions of
feeling.
dollars.
That's what I'm saying, Onana hurt the man feeling and hurt. Onana was
But it look like-
disrespectful,
No, it look like
No.
he feels get hurt, eh? Because what?
Slap
When
him.
Maguire, what's
Slap
Maguire?
it out until we feel it one season.
What's that?
Whole season
Maguire,
until we feel it.
Maguire didn't even respond. Maguire just turned his head and bow his head.
No, he gave a thumbs up. He gave a thumbs up. He gave a thumbs up. Yeah.
Maguire hurt all of our feelings during the Ole tenure. He get hit.
No,
Maguire should be no way close to Manchester
No,
United.
but Ole, if
No
I
way.
look at Onana and I look at Onana history, Onana always gain away with players, eh?
Always. Not
Yeah,
only
something always
players,
getting with
manager
players.
too.
So this whole thing about him going to do it to Martinez or Varane, that remains to be seen, eh?
Yeah, I want to see that. I really want to see that for Martinez or Maguire do nothing.
No, it's at that clip. I just said the clip, Nico.
Not Ajax, you know.
No. Yeah, Nico, it's at that clip with Onana going at Dzeko and Chalangulo, whoever his name is, had to go and cover Onana's mouth.
Yeah.
Onana ain't battle with nobody, you know. If you're doing your job, he coming at you. Right?
Dan, I'll get it. It have a clip where he blasts Martinez at Ajax. And Martinez give him this blank look, like, Martinez's giddy look when he know he do a piece of shit, but he ain't gonna admit he do it. I'll get that clip for this. So, Martinez had the moments.
But at the same time, you don't want a player on your team demoralizing your players. So I understand the need for balance. If Onana had to check himself, do that. But I'm not gonna say a goalkeeper because for the last 12 years would they hear us say or do nothing. So now we see a goalkeeper come in that have the ability to
Proper
organize.
Manchester United player. That was Manchester United one. That what I want.
Exactly. So
But
now we see a goalkeeper who coming in and organizing.
Voice.
You understand? They hear only talking after games and interviews, but I want to hear a man talking on the field now. Right?
But
and that will get from
supposed to be
Onana.
about this.
Onana talking to men, Onana running out by men and bounce all on top of the 18-yard box, all kind of thing.
Yep.
You understand? Australian, Onana saying, pass it so, ting. You never used to get it from De Gea. Right? So, all your rest the man, all I say is,
a lot of players gonna get a wake up, boy. You think Ten Hag was the final straw? No, boy. Onana,
Yeah.
don't forget who Onana got raised under, the same Ten Hag, right? So
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me just get some comments before we move on to Hoyland, right? Simeon on the inside, thanks for joining, man.
Oh,
He's saying
Simeon.
as long as we don't have a left side winger that passes the ball and a right winger that can't pass or shoot good unless it's in his one spot, it's going to be a hard day for any number 9. I keep saying that. I
Facts.
keep saying that. You know?
Not all, not
Also saying here, we don't have excellence in the midfield. Right? Casemiro not consistently great, and as we need him to be, Mount looking like a swing and miss.
Try more
Physicality
the
and
miss
attacking,
than the swing now.
physicality plus attacking skills missing from the start at centre mid.
I agree
Yeah.
that we are one of the worst midfield in the Premier League, and I'm being honest.
Yeah. Anderson on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying is the team better than 1 year ago? Good question. I would say probably in terms of rim.
First 10
Yeah.
games, we will know the answer.
in 1 year ago. In 1 year ago, you would have preferred McFred.
Maku?
Yeah,
Who's them?
1 year ago, Casemiro wasn't starting. Just remember that.
Yeah. That's my
Christopher
friend.
saying, Christopher saying here, Menu impressed for sure. Onana showed his quality and a fire in his belly. Mount hasn't showed me anything really. We need a centre forward. If Hoyland is the man, I want him to start. I'll trust Ten Hag. All right. Anderson also saying here, goalkeeper always yelling, so it's not a big deal. Right.
Now he
Then
gets
he
in
can-
the Maguire, boy.
Power.
He gets in the Maguire, that's the near, and he gets in. But
You have
you
plenty
feel
more
like
than suck up.
the way you feel resentment by you, what are you feeling?
Christopher saying,
He
Onana should have
just,
slapped
he
him.
just channeling what all Manchester United fans feeling.
No, but I don't understand
exactly,
too on that, eh?
exactly.
Them African, they show different kind of aggression too, eh? Your face,
Yep.
you can't have it in your face, eh? So,
Now he gets in,
Onana,
but he gets in.
say Onana should have slapped him back, but Ho is a nobody player and nobody pundit. Why should anyone care about his opinion?
Over
Wait,
the
is
years,
he say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Agbon
yeah.
Lahore
But
and
no,
some
well,
other people
I
too.
guess- Yeah.
Is he talk that thing about Onana being disrespectful?
Yeah.
Reem, I hit in your virtual slap for bringing up that statement now. I couldn't believe. Is he say
No.
that?
No. It's not him alone. It's him and other people. He was on a panel and
It's he
everybody
leave
else
for
was saying.
entertaining shit. Move on. That man is a
Nah.
real
Nah,
coach.
but no, but it's not only him. It's not only him.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure we talk about topics because a lot
Right.
of other people carry
Yeah,
the same
but
point of view.
damn.
And I find to be truthful, why this is an issue. So everybody
not an issue.
soft. Everybody's soft now, nobody can talk to nobody, and that
You
is with
telling
football
me?
nowadays.
Boy,
Anderson saying
boy.
here, yeah, he's saying the whole situation is blown out of proportion because the English media and exactly, they go protect Maguire. Alright?
How many people still want to protect Maguire, you know?
Yeah. Dwayne on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining,
Good
buddy.
night, good night.
I find
Yes, on
all of them
Lynch.
who want to protect him should pay his salary and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, Ethan Lynch on the inside too. Good night to you, buddy.
Oh, Lynchy.
Yes, man. Now we're talking about.
Happy
fellas,
birthday, brother.
Hey, happy birthday,
today's
man.
Lynchy birthday.
Yes,
Birthday blessings,
today.
man. Lynchy, man. Bless up.
Blessings.
Yeah. So let me talk about Hoyland, guys. Right? Because Ten Hag has finally gotten his striker. I don't know how much you all know about
It confirmed?
this. Yeah.
yeah, that
Well,
conference.
not official from the club.
Well, that's what I
but
said. I know we see everything written
Yeah.
by Manchester United. Say anything yet?
them take long to do everything, right?
Yeah, them
Okay,
maybe doing a whole piano skit and all kind of
Yeah,
thing.
kind of them take too long to do everything, right?
Okay.
But it confirmed. When I say,
Oh.
right, it's unofficially official,
Right.
right?
It
No.
let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Once it let's once it let's go with the green thing. All right, cool. That's good enough for me.
Because the report is that he will travel to Manchester tomorrow to undergo his medical and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
right?
here
So,
to medical yet.
yeah, so that will happen tomorrow. All right, because I think it's only Saturday or Sunday, Phil. That's it was thing.
It was announced Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
He play
So
any preseason games?
I don't know, but the one they had Atalanta had a preseason game Saturday and he didn't play
Against
Okay.
Bournemouth, I
because
think. Or yeah,
yeah,
Bournemouth.
because
Yeah.
it was we were talking and they didn't want to risk anything now, so they didn't play. He didn't play.
Okay.
So now, guys, I being honest with you, I don't know much about Hoyland.
Same.
All I do know is that, and what I could contribute in terms of what he will offer, and that's the question earlier, what do I think he'll offer, and we could talk about his price tag. Right? Now, from what I saw from the little YouTube clippings, because I don't have the time to go and watch a full game and watch full games, right? The man have a very, very high his movement in the box. It's nice. And I think it kind of Cavani-esque now. And we know Cavani, with his movement, used to create a lot of spaces and a lot of opportunities for himself. But my issue is the supply line. You know?
That's it.
My issue is his patience levels because when teams come to Man United, most times they sit back, right? At Atalanta, for the couple, he used to have real grass to run into. I don't know if he can get a privilege at United, especially playing as the number 9, right? The physicality of the defenders in the Premiership different, right? Referees don't like Man United, so a lot of calls going to go against him. So in the box, I see somewhat of a bit of a fox in the box, and if he were to get supply, then I think he could get to the end of some stuff and score some ugly goals now. The ugly goals just go a long way, you know. So that is as much as I know about Hoyland. The floor open. What he bring to the table earlier? What he will find with?
Let it be known that most Manchester United fans are not comparing Rasmus Højlund to Erling Haaland. Okay, it
Nope.
is only external social media outlets that are looking to compare a left-footed Scandinavian youngster who has a similar surname to Erling Haaland, right? Manchester United fans are excited that we signed Rasmus Højlund, but they are in no way comparing Haaland and Højlund, right? I saw a post on Sky Sports today showing Erling Haaland before he came to the Premier League versus Rasmus Højlund before he came to the Premier League, right? You can already see Rasmus Højlund could get, I don't know, 2 or 3 games coming off the bench and maybe start a couple before the Manchester Derby. You know who the thumbnail going to be? Haaland versus Højlund. That's what the
Yeah.
media does, right? But in terms of what Højlund brings to Manchester United, he brings a physical presence, right? He definitely is better with his back to goal versus Rashford, right? Um, he's what's the right word? Is ambidextrous?
Two
Ambidextrous. He
foot.
can use both. He can use both feet, right? That's what I like about him as well. He's young, and we all know that Ten Hag is well known for molding youngsters, right? So I'm excited to see what he can do within the first 10 to 15 games at Manchester United. Do I expect him to hit the ground running? No, I don't. But if he does, that's a bonus. But let's see what the guy can do within the first 10 to 15 games. We finally have a striker who can play the natural number 9. And let's see.
But Nico,
Mhm.
60 million pounds guaranteed fee, 4.3 million in achievable add-ons, and 8.6 million in more difficult add-ons in terms of goal and trophies, etc. How much time that price tag giving you?
Nah, you gotta be honest. The man is 20 years old. He get at least 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons. There's a long term investment, then a short term investment. And then maybe say in 2 years time, this might look like a still of a deal. These figures you're quoting will be like peanuts now. But definitely, these are 3-year investment. To be honest, I'm not seeing him lighting up the Premier League this season. Maybe next season and after that, then when you might see the best Hoyland. Again, I it's not a signing that have me off the edge of my seat. No, but again, if that is what Ten Hag wants, that Ten Hag thinks that he could take the team to the next level, then yeah, then I back in Ten Hag. As long as he gets it. So anyway, let me not put it right on the wall as yet, but we hope that Mount really step up that, because I don't know. So I guess it's a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment.
All right, Chef, what you saying about Hoyland?
So I asked my Italian back Syria, our partners, and them have a set of partners as play football with his Milan supporters about him. And generally, men say it's not like he play a big set of games for them to see him play, but he have promise. From my YouTube looking at him, he decent. Yeah, he not bad. Here's my thing about that signing, eh? My manager wanted him. And that's good enough for me. Once my manager, it wasn't a player the club buy. It was a player that the manager wanted and the club went and get. Then that tells me, here what? My manager sees something he could work with, he could build. They're giving him a 6-7 years contract. So that means he here for a while. That being said, as Phil said, there are no Manchester United fan in the right mind think he's the next coming of Haaland. Don't do that. But at the same time, if the boy gets proper playing time and proper supply, because this is something men fail to realize, Haaland don't score goals by himself. He have a midfield that does walk. So once the midfield doing what they're supposed to do and he get the chances, I expect him to be scoring. He might be able to 20, 30 something, 40 something goals, but he could be one to watch. That's just me.
Yeah, I think we were all agree that a striker could only be as good as his supply line, and I really hope, because it's a new toy syndrome that is going along with a lot of fans, not only Man United fans, so the expectation, even though we telling ourselves and we saying we have to temper our expectations as it would relate to this guy that coming into this club, I think it's unavoidable because this is Manchester United. The microscope is different, right? Somebody reports, these newspapers just put out on Manchester United players. It's ridiculous. Marcus Rashford wears $10,000 watch. Like, what the hell? So if Rasmus Højlund, and this is why there was the comparison that they have already started with Haaland, right? Because it's Manchester United, he's from Scandinavia, wherever, and they don't start that already. So they will always. So that is where everybody going to measure him, and Haaland has done a cyborg. So it's unfair for him already, and he haven't reached good yet. So we could say what we want. The expectation and the pressure is going to be on this youth man to deliver. Because why? 60 million, a deal worth 75 million pounds was spent to get this guy inside here. So you see, Nico, you see that 2-year thing you're talking about, brother? Nah. We understand that, But out there,
he don't have 2 years.
He don't have 2 years. He don't have 2 years. You know what I'm
saying? So you're saying after a season where we're gonna sell him? We're gonna get rid of him?
I'm not saying. No, that's what I'm saying.
That's not
what I'm saying. That's the education you gotta get. Hey, and the expectation you have to understand as well.
Let me break it down.
Yes, as much as you would like to hit the ground running, and the media and the pressure might be on you. Jed, the whole team might come around here, right? We understand and get our support.
No.
Nicole.
Let me put it in the best way possible. The modern day football fan wants microwavable results.
Yeah,
That
but
makes sense.
that shouldn't bother him.
And Phil, it's not just the fan, eh? It's not just the fans, eh? The club
Media,
hierarchy
everything.
is just as
Yeah.
bad.
The media, everything. And watch that pressure different. So once he
And
know,
and, and let me be real though. This is just me. Once he gets in positions to score, he has to score. Because here's the thing. We clearly needed a number 9, a finisher. We went out and buy you. Once you get into positions, you can't be when horsing the thing.
No, and that could possibly happen. That could possibly happen.
Well,
What we gonna do when
well,
what we
brother
gonna do when that
man,
happen?
if that
Really?
happened for 2
he in
years,
trouble.
he get himself.
He in trouble. He in trouble.
I'm telling you,
I didn't say for 2 years, but for the first season, he might
No,
have
he
some
in
of that.
trouble. No, but what's saying,
might,
Nico?
and that's fine.
he might wear
Nico.
And
horsey
that's
things for the
fine.
first
Nah,
season.
he
But
can't wear
hear
those
what?
that thing,
When
boy.
he throw away,
Mm-mm.
With the first season, he
when
can
he
wear
feel he
horsey
throw
things,
away, it had to be more he score.
Yeah. If he get 5 chances and he score 3 and miss 2, we could take that.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm telling you, Rasmus had to know that the saying from the great Sir Alex Ferguson is once you're good enough, once you're how it is, once you're
You're old enough.
old-
Once you're old enough,
Once
you're
you're
old
old
enough.
enough, you're
So
good enough.
I don't want to hear more than 20 years in it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're
Gents,
Sorry.
are they head out, eh?
yeah, no problem. Because you're
Right, so,
here,
hey,
so you have
good
to.
night.
Yeah, brother.
Nico. Yeah, man, easy. Yeah, so you're here. So I mean, this is not me being unreasonable. It's just how it is.
No,
You're
it's
here, and
not still
you have to get your
unreasonable.
run running. And I
He
do
has to
agree
recognize that too.
yeah, and I agree that the team has to really come around and support the man and play for the man. That's important, right? That is very important. So you see this thing where Anthony and Rashford and them fellas like to do about taking things into their own hands. That nonsense has to stop, right? That nonsense have to stop, and you have to play for your number 9, right? Because that fella he will suffer, and then he confidence will take a hit because
then
again,
and
you
then the
remember
blaming he.
exactly
Because
because 2 games
let me tell you
gone,
something.
no
Fans,
goals.
people fickle bad, you know. People will see that man finish with 7, 8 goals and say, God, that is all he did. But then when
Yeah.
you remember how much opportunities, how much time he run in position to get the ball
And
and
nothing.
in get the ball, you know.
Yeah. And then too, you see what is tend to happen to a striker is that fact that he has scored is other way heavy on them, and then you find
Yep.
him snatching at things instead of remaining composed. And
Yep.
all them things could mash up a boy too. You
Yep.
know? Let me get some comments here, guys. Dwayne saying here, they won't announce him until all documents confirmed and also passing the medical. And talking about the official announcement from United. That's true. But we get enough confirmation that we need to.
Yeah,
to operate,
once
you
we
know?
get the let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaden saying here, Rasmus played 3 games against unknown clubs in preseason.
How much he score?
Kaden real like Rasmus, and Kaden answer chef question. How much he score? All right. Christopher saying here he scored against Mourinho's Roma. He could handle the low block. All right. Kaden saying
He scored a hat-trick against them.
Rasmus was always supposed to be the development striker Ten Hag wanted. Ten Hag wanted Kane as a starting striker, but circumstances. That money was too much, boy. But we will see. Anderson saying here it's clear that the media have a bias against United, and everything that is reported is always skewed against the club. Facts. Saying here, Veghorst is a verb now. Don't Veghorst it.
Nah, wait, worth it, boy.
Yeah. Once you're good enough, you're old enough. And this is it. Right?
Yep.
And the club make a real major investment on this player. And
Yep.
I mean, I want him to succeed. But the team have their part to play. You know?
Right.
And the scoring can't just be down to him also. The scoring had to be on the midfield. It had to be on the wingers. It had to be on the defenders. Then we can't be... When you watch all top teams, yes, then you will have a prolific striker. But the scoring is also shared among the team. And we cannot be reaching in front of the goal. And as we keep on saying, not even testing the goal. Come on, man. Well, you're getting paid way too much money for that, though.
Yeah. because how much players we play through the middle, and Israel sufferation. So we can't expect a 20-year-old to come and all of a sudden, he just touching the ball and it turning into goal. No, it don't work like that, right?
And that's my thing why I
So
saying that having Bruno on that wing, it making no sense because I one of the players who actually could make a pass to that forward.
Yeah.
yeah,
Casemiro,
Thanks, Keita.
Mount to some extent. And even Luke Shaw. I expect Luke Shaw to get double figures in assists this season. I expect him
Yeah.
to.
and I think the fact that he's a kind of fox in the box kind of player, it go do well for
That
crosses
will
and
work well with that because them the midfielders, the attackers we have like Chuke, they like one touch into the box and you get opportunity score.
yeah, I just want to see I just want to see how his first game looks. I want to see what and I could be able to tell a few things about him after seeing him for
Yeah,
the first time in
watch
Man
his
United
movement.
colours.
Watch his movement. Watch his
Yeah,
back to goal. Watch his off the ball
Yeah,
antics as well too. So
correct. Everyone has to score and not be powered up off anything here by.
correct.
So, fellas, last thing on the agenda, right? We transfer business so far. 43 million for Nana, 60 million for Oiland, and 55 million for Mount. How are they rating? I mean, we would hope that is not the end of we signings, but those are the main ones that Ten Hag wants to get in. He wanted a goalkeeper, a midfielder, and a striker, and he get it, right? We're hoping that more things will happen for us because we see we need more work, right? But how you all feel about those 3 signings so far?
I,
yeah,
I satisfied with the signings, You know what I pleased about, to be honest, that we're not overpaying for men. That we're not paying a ridiculous amount of money for men to come. Men, I mean, I say we don't know what will happen, but at least we pay 90 million for Mount, 80 million. The Dutch thing Chelsea was pricing him at the start. We sticking to our guns, and generally, I don't mind. I still find we could wrap up signings a little faster. But you know what? We coming to come.
Yeah. Phil?
I could read something that I found a couple days ago. Chelsea wanted 80 million pounds for Mason Mount, but we got Mason Mount for 55 million.
Yep.
Inter Milan wanted 65 million for Onana, but we got 43.5. Atalanta wanted 85 million for Hoyland, and we signed him for 64 million pounds. So it just goes to show that, look, you know that we're Manchester United, and we have, and we have money, but don't take us for granted, right? The days of Ed Woodward are over. The days of overpaying for players, I think we still maybe have overpaid for Mount, but not as much as Chelsea wanted, right? So I would rate this transfer window so far maybe a 7, right? To take it up to a 8 or 9 will be the signing of, let's say, Amrabat and maybe another defensive. Sorry, maybe another defender and a central attacking midfielder, and also getting rid of the likes of Maguire and maybe McTominay and Fred as well too. That would take it to a 9, right? But so far so good. I'm satisfied, and we're getting in players that we need, not any high quality players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get the comments on, guys. Let me look at to wrap it. All right. Anderson saying here, to me, Rasmus was the only overspend.
But he
Right.
wasn't. And before we go any further, we have to remember something. Center forwards is a timer, doesn't it? It have nothing like a cheap center forward. I want men show me a cheap center. It don't have that.
If he good. Yeah.
If you're good.
Yeah. Kaden saying here, once we get him in, he will be the fastest player in the team. All right.
Yeah, I saw some stats that he's actually
Yeah, he has some speed. A tall guy.
Christopher saying here,
My red essay,
Oh,
boy.
this is a thesis.
he's saying here, to me, this season Hoyland's role will be more of a focal point than a goal scorer. His greatest strength has been his hold up and link up play, running the channels and his movements in the box. Rashford is the senior frontman, so the burden of goal scoring should fall on him. And with Hoyland in the team, he could stay on his preferred left wing. Alright? He will chip in with the goals, but Rashi is the senior frontman. Okay. Alright, I think that's a fair
I
assessment.
don't agree with that. So and here's what I'm telling you, I don't agree with that, right?
Go ahead.
Because the senior frontman tailed off bad last season.
Yeah.
Bad.
I get what Christopher wants to say, but when you say he focusing, he being the focal point, that just giving me White Horse vibes all over again, bro.
Oh, thank you. You say before me, but that's what I know what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying, but as I said earlier, let the scoring be shared among everyone. But I want my center forward, my number 9, whoever it be, I want him in the box or in and around the box scoring once he get the ball. I don't want nothing but no senior frontman. Rashford is no senior frontman. Rashford no had a good season.
But here the point he's making is where the expectation for the brunt of the goals now, you will want your senior players to carry that kind of weight.
Why want everybody to carry the weight?
No, but obviously you would want senior players to take more responsibility where that is concerned. And Rashford proved, even though he tailed off, Rashford proved he could score 30 plus goals that season. You understand? So it's on, and as Ten Hag say, is on Rashford. You understand? To do it again. Nobody else.
Fair enough.
Right? Because he'll be provided with the opportunity. You know? So I agree to extent with Christopher in saying that, listen,
fair enough.
You play a role proper. That centre forward role, we want that person to run the channels, we want that person to be a nuisance in the box.
Agreed.
To create spaces for the likes of Rashford, for Anthony, for Bruno. You understand? And then when the ball's coming for him, he take his chances. So he'll
you put away your chances.
You know? So yeah. He also saying here, Weghorst had chances but fluffed his line. So Weghorst did get chances, yeah?
Weghorst get a lot. The one thing Weghorst can't say is he didn't get chances, eh?
Yeah, Weghorst is a real tutu boy. Dwayne saying here Garnacho will surprise us this season. I hope so.
How we would surprise us? We have high expectations of Garnacho. We would be shocked if he ain't score and if he ain't perform.
Yeah. Well, we hope that the surprise is what we already know and not what you say, Chef. Christopher said, yeah, real so I say, yeah. So then fellas understand. You know? So, guys, I think we in terms of the transfer business, for me, I really like how quickly we got transfers done. Last season, Ten Hag had to wait, until the season start, right? And even after preseason, because I think preseason he had no new signings with him, or was it just Malacia, right? And Malacia didn't really come in to impact the first 11. It's only Malacia.
What injury Malacia?
Boy, that's it. Right? But again, last season on preseason in the East, Ten Hag didn't have no signings. He only got Eriksen when he came back, he got Martinez when he came back, and then we get Casemiro during when we was under the cosh because we get beat up from Brighton and Brentford. So it's good to have Onana in, Mount in. Them fellas was able to gel with the team on preseason tour. We getting Hoyland where he can have a 2 weeks with the team. Hopefully another midfielder will come in good time. Right? But we won't be desperate for him because we have Casemiro, we have Bruno, we have Mount. Hopefully Kobe come back because that's like a new signing for me. And let me see how things go. Again, my issue, fellas, is that attack. All of them fellas need to real buck up. We could possess the ball, we could do all kind of thing.
And the
mistakes is
finish.
part of
And the
yeah,
finish.
yeah, and mistakes is part of football. So the likelihood that we concede, it very very possible. But we had to score, take the pressure off the team. So yeah, closing thoughts, Phil. We have.
Um, yeah, just to echo what you said, I'm glad we're getting in these sign-ins and they can play some part in preseason. Whether it's just one preseason game or two, I think they're going to play some part in preseason. And this wasn't the scenario in Ten Hag's first season, right? Um, these last two games or last one game where we get to see the team play finally in front of Old Trafford, that should give them some sort of confidence, right? I will also be getting an Onana jersey. Done with that.
Chef, we said.
Yeah, it was good that we get the majority of signings in. It wasn't just, well, Manchester United is connected to this player. This one, it was a clear vision of what we needed, and we seem to be filling the gaps. I know men want to see the limelight players, but Fred, we have seen, we have been down that road where the glitter players, Manchester Rush pay a big set of money for them, and we all of them know.
Yeah,
So
disappoint.
rather let me go with the players, the manager acted. So that was our next pleasing thing, that the manager actually get the players he wanted, not who the club wanted. And let me see where it goes. We have a couple more games to go. Well, already won, but let me see how it goes. But I have a good vibes about this season, man. But we had to finish with chances. We had to finish with chances. Can't be missing super.
I think just a note also, not Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal were also after Mason Mount, and PSG were looking to hijack the Hoyland deal. So
Yeah,
there has to be something
A pull.
that
Yeah.
these other teams are seeing in these players that we got first choice over. There has to be something,
Yeah,
right?
and on top of that, what you're saying, Phil, on top of that, the players made them mind they wanted to come to Man United. We didn't have to
yeah,
offer
Yeah.
them no more money or sweeten up no deal to get them to come. They wanted Manchester
I
United.
heard, I heard, I
yeah.
heard Liverpool offered a higher deal than us. I heard so,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
And PSG was willing to pay, wherever. So I think it's really good to see that players actually want to come to Man United. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't so in
I
in,
will,
in the
I will
recent
tell you
past.
this something. I'm not worried about Mount at all.
Boy,
At
I worried
all,
about you,
at
boy.
all, at all. I am not worried about Mount. Because Mount is not to say Mount, we never see Mount play good. As a couple seasons ago, Mount was a dangerous, dangerous player.
He
So
was, yeah.
Chelsea was in all kind of disarray last season, but gave him some playing time because Dred, as you rightfully say, Reem, he go and start. I
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
the midfield access to be Mount, Cassie, and Skipper. So
Yeah,
he have a lot of playing time coming this week.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, the next podcast we're gonna be having will be this Sunday evening. I'm gonna just confirm that just because we won. Or is it we gonna do 2 in 1,
boy, if it's
right?
if it's Sunday, I can see if I'm available. We'll see. Sunday's the 6th or the
Yeah, the 6th.
Sixth.
Yeah.
that
So
this Carabana weekend, boy. So
Is wine and go down low.
he,
boy, this Carabana weekend. So I might tune in, but
Yeah, we know.
yeah. Do your thing, do your thing. So yeah, so we go do the 2 reviews in 1. So that's so we do it Sunday evening, right? Because we play in Lon or Lens, or is pronounce it, from
Lens.
France Saturday, and
Yeah,
then we
Lens.
play in Athletic Bilbao on Sunday at Old Trafford, right? So we're gonna be
Stinking
back here on
Spanish team,
Sunday
man.
to yeah, boy. I don't know why Ten Hag like to bring them as the last game. Last season was Vallecano,
Rayo
Vallecano or
Vallecano.
Valladolid. Anyway, whichever one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, last comment going to Christopher. He's saying Phil go be deep in that bottle or some.
Boy.
Yeah, a bottle of something with two legs.
Anyway, so guys, it was nice. Thanks for those in the comments. We do appreciate it all the time. Phil, Chef, and well, Nico had to jump out. Guys, we do appreciate it. We committed to keep bringing the content. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already on the YouTube side. And see you guys on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.
Yes.